we go. You got it. All right. So that's on.
Oh!
This is... You're right. What was that?
It's quite abrasive, this microphone.
Hello, and welcome back to the Age Grouper podcast. It's good to be back. Have one of these, mate.
Good to see you again. Haven't seen you in a while.
No, you haven't. I've been in and out and gone and back.
You left at a crucial point.
Absolutely nothing has gone on since the last time, but it's been about 10 days, so we thought we'd repeat the success.
Yeah.
Choo-choo. Get on the train, baby.
Get on the train. Get all aboard.
All aboard the train. 20 subs. Yeah.
This thing's going all the way.
This is going global. This is
Next stop, Panama City. I don't know why I said that.
No, where's that?
Don't know.
Is that
in
a race?
Mexico?
Oh.
Or in Panama, probably.
Yeah, right.
I would argue.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, before we get into triathlon, I've been saving a story for you and the viewers because, so as we alluded to before, I went to the F1 because I'm a rich guy and thanks, man. So we went over and it was a great weekend. You know, Ricardo did quite well.
Yeah.
But sometimes with life, I feel the highs have to be matched with the lows. You know what I mean? You can't
Much
have just
like triathlon. There you go.
And the reason I'm telling the story because it is related to triathlon in a way, more like the mental fortitude way. But anyway, so I came back on my own, right? Because their flight was earlier than the flight later. So I had to be in Melbourne on my own for basically the whole day, which was fine. Like I walked to the MCG and I walked around. I think I might have walked like 25 Ks.
Wow.
So yeah, mentally I'm tougher than the average individual, of course, because of triathlon. But anyway, so I get on the bus to go to the airport, right? And I get on at like 1 o'clock and I'm like, the flight's at 5:45. So it's already pretty early for a domestic flight. And I get there and, you know, the terminal's pretty cooked. Like it's
busy.
the Virgin terminal, busy. And I'm like, oh man, damn. And so I learned that the flight has no food on it, right? So I'm like,
It's a long flight too, back to Perth.
long enough, four and a half hours. So that'll do. And anyway, so I was like, I should probably get some food beforehand. But I was really craving red frogs for some reason. And so I got an entire packet of red frogs.
Yeah,
and
right.
laid down in the airport. I was like, you know, I'm just going to have a little bit of a nap. And I was just scoffing in red frogs, like laid in the middle of all the people. Not particularly caring, but like lying on my back. And this is the only thing I've eaten all day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I ripped down like the entire packet of red frogs lying on my back.
Yeah.
And then I did it. And like, you know that I've got a pretty like weak stomach. Like my stomach can't take a lot. And so I did that and I was like, you know, I kind of somewhat knew in the back of my mind that it was a mistake.
But you wanted it so bad. You were just like...
Yeah, but like even after I was like, fuck, what have I done? And so the flight ends up getting delayed to like 7:30.
Oh.
So I was in this place for like 5.5 hours just sitting around waiting for the flight to come. And the minute that I get up to go, when they call the name to like get into the airplane, my stomach just goes like... I was like, oh no. And so I get down on the flight and I actually promise you, man, I sat down and just immediate like 7 out of 10 pain in my stomach, which was unrelenting for the 4 hours. It was the longest 4 hours of my life by far. It was
did you need to take a shit or it was just stomach pain?
It was stomach pain. And like what I would do, right? So it was like I was in this position the whole flight. And just like waving back and forth.
Yeah, doing that one where you're like,
And like the guys next to me were like sort of, you know, side-eyeing but didn't want to really know what was going on.
With this guy?
So yeah, I was just, so every 20 minutes for a 4-hour flight, so you can imagine how many times that was, I would get up and go to the bathroom, but nothing.
Oh.
So I would just get up, I'm like, please, just give me some relief.
So you just like...
Sat back down. And then the problem was, I was like, maybe I'll get a bit of tea in me. That might help.
Tea.
Tea is a diuretic, so it makes you even more dehydrated. Because what I think happened is the lolly's got no fiber, but it's got all like the sugar.
Yeah.
So my body just wasn't absorbing that shit.
No.
And so I went and had the tea, and it went from like bad to the point I was just, you know, like almost faking being in pain on the trainer, just like. And thankfully the plane's so loud, nobody's looking at me really. But you know. My head's like in the aisle, just like, oh, please, for the love of God.
Yeah, right.
And the entire flight, unrelenting, not 1 second did I go.
Wow.
And I would take one breath in and be like, that feels a bit better. And then I'd breathe out and go, ugh.
Jesus.
That's why I think I went to the toilet like 20 times on the flight.
It's So how, it just went away then eventually when you got...
Oh, when I got back, it was still bad. And then I sat down in the shower for like 30 minutes and then eventually it eased off. So that was the end of my weekend.
Oh, that's incredible, man.
Yeah.
You really have like serious tummy problems
I do.
don't you?
But not in the Ironman, weirdly. So I don't know how that works.
Fine.
So anyway, that's my dumb little story. I feel like actually the reason I tell this story is mentally I'm tough enough to do another one now, I feel like.
Oh, you went through that and
that was
now
so much
like,
worse.
Really?
It was so much worse.
Wow.
Yeah,
there is something about being on a plane. I've had that once with like ear pain. Like I've got bad ears, you know. And like it was just like from the moment we took off, my ear was just like searing pain in my ear. Like ear pain in the side of your head. And for like it was a long flight too. It was like 6 hours or something. There's something about being on a plane and being in pain. It's just like you can't go anywhere. Like nothing, and you're in this seat and
you're in a tube and
you just can't do anything.
You're actually like begging for forgiveness.
You're like, please.
I'm like Buddha.
Please.
Jesus.
Just
it doesn't matter. I don't like. We're pretty close. We're pretty close to you up here, right? Like,
I'll do anything.
Please.
I'll do anything.
I will literally do anything. And then the lady comes past. She's like, "Would you like any complimentary snacks?" I'm like, "If you put that thing anywhere near me, lady, I am going to. I'm going to lose it." Okay. Well, anyway, there's my little side story.
Wow.
Yep. That'll be the most interesting thing about this podcast, since nothing's happened since the last time we spoke, really.
No, nothing major, no.
But we'll go through a bit of the controversies of Oceanside, because there were a few.
Yeah, which has come to light after the race, as it usually does. But
So in particular, the finish between Rudy von Berg and Lionel, the photo finish, which kind of we took for granted. We were like, photo finish. Like, that's
he
fine.
got over the line,
Got over the
just
line
ahead
first.
of him.
That's how it works. Turns out that was adjudicated by an iPhone.
It was a photo finish, literally. Someone just took a photo.
Took a photo. They're like, "Oh, look, Lionel's a bit ahead," even though it was probably half a second after they finished. That's just classic.
Iron Man. I mean, we've done 3 episodes of this, and we might have railed on Iron Man every single episode.
Yeah.
But here they go again, just making it so easy to be like,
just do some new dumb
just
thing
have
each time.
I mean, I know it's a long race and it's unlikely that there'll be a...
True.
But, like, yeah.
You got to do that better.
I mean, Lionel thought he won. Rudy said he thought... Well, Rudy wasn't, like, 100% sure.
How could you know for 100%? They were literally right next to each other.
It does look from the photo that Lionel...
Yeah.
It looks like Lionel got ahead, but...
Fair enough, but you don't know. Like, is that technology expensive, or, like, why did they not have it?
Well, you don't... It's just... I don't get it, because they have timing chips. So wouldn't the timing chip... I mean, the timing chip's on your ankle, though.
Yeah, maybe like whoever's ankle first. That would be really good.
Ankle.
And
your head got to cross first. So
no, but it has to be on your ankle, so like they all know this to be the case. And so they run and they do like a little Superman kick to get over.
Like a soccer dive. Like
7 triathletes have broken their hips trying to win the race.
They should.
I would actually get around that hard. Hey?
That would be a cool little like an extra dynamic. Like you'd have to like, so you'd practice your transitions and everything. You practice your bike, you swim, you run, and you'd also practice your finishes.
No, it would be like one of the, like, you know, in the outfield in cricket when you have to slide to get the ball. It'd be like a slide on that Ironman carpet, and you know,
and that carpet's
soft.
Yeah,
you know?
You wouldn't slide on it. That's the thing.
Maybe not, but you put a little bit of grease, a little bit of oil. It's like slide on, baby. I wouldn't put it past Ironman to do that though. Some hell gimmicky dumb
they'd
thing.
probably do that instead of just getting a camera there or like whatever you need for that.
Yes,
it's just, and then also with the finish, there's freaking cameras like 2 meters behind the finish line who are just standing there, and Lionel and Rudy are running at like 2:15 pace across the line.
And you know, you watch these guys run and you think, that's pretty quick, but that's full-on sprinting for any regular human being.
Like faster than sprinting.
Yeah,
you can't sprint that fast.
No.
And you see them go over the line, and they're just like
that is just such
veer off to the right and like run into each other. It's just like,
and they're just all over each other. It's like, oh well, you know, the battle finishes with the guys on the floor. It's like, no. That was because
you
of
made them go on the floor.
And where? Why are there so many? I was wondering to myself, why are there so many cameras there? I didn't see any of those pictures.
No, where do those pictures go?
I mean, like the pros themselves are barely getting paid. I mean, are these photographers doing it for fun?
They've got all professional things on.
I know.
So yeah, I would get it if I'm Rudy. I mean, his video, he was like, "What the hell?" Like,
and, he's
cost me third. Difference between third and second is like a paycheck. Yeah. Like this guy's
true,
and like he hasn't beaten Lionel a lot. He's never
beat him. That would have been his first time. And brutally for him. He probably deserved to win. Like, had a better race.
Oh, yeah. But it was cool to watch Lionel's video on it and like him like summarizing where he thought he was, and we find out later that he lost his nutrition like immediately on the bike, which is a nice thing to hear for one, but also classic Lionel to just do something to get in his own way. There's always something, and like I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it happens, but it seems to happen to that guy a lot.
True. But I mean, like, to be honest, like that stuff dunking off and falling off your bike as you go, that's like something that I would suspect would happen way more than it actually does.
True.
Because
that happened to me the other day actually on my bike as I was crossing a road.
Water
bottle just
see you later. And you know, that's annoying too, because they're not cheap.
I went back and picked it up.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I look like an idiot walking across the road. Like,
actually, did I tell you that story? So when I was riding the river loop.
Yeah.
And then I went past one of the schools or whatever it was, and I have my AirPods in, and they just fell out.
Oh yeah, I've had that happen too.
Yeah. So it just fell, but on the middle of the road. So I was like, damn it. And so I stopped, and there was these two bus drivers watching me.
Oh yeah.
And they were watching me, and I was like, damn it. And so I went back to see if someone had run it over, and thankfully no one ran it over somehow, even though there were like 8 cars behind me. Go and pick it up, get back to the side of the street. This old bloke just goes, "Hey mate, those things broken?" And I was like, "Nah, I think it might be okay actually. I'm pretty lucky. I'm an idiot." Blah blah blah. He's like, "Oh, do you want a spare pair?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "You want a spare pair?" And I'm like, "Of headphones?" And he's like, yeah. And so he goes into the thing. I'm expecting him to give me some like janky or like corded ones. And I'm like, oh, man, I can't say no to this bloke.
Free headphones.
He gives me brand new AirPods. And I was like, mate, you know these are like $300? And he's just like, there we go, mate. And I'm like, thank you. I believe those are earned.
And then rode off.
I'll take them. And so I just had that extra.
I think that guy wanted you to do other things to him for the AirPods.
He's like, do you want to come into the bus?
Yeah. Like, hey,
man.
It's like candy to a little kid.
Well, the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure he stole them from a little kid.
Oh, for sure.
Because they were on the school bus.
The kids don't deserve that anyway. So
yeah, I feel like if you're, I'm pretty sure it was a primary school bus too. I don't know how that, and it was in a pretty schmicky little neighborhood. I think
I know which one you're talking about too. Yeah.
So I didn't feel bad.
Parents probably bought him another one.
And then so it proceeded to ruin my other AirPods. So they actually came in a lot of handy. Anyway, sorry, tangent.
Yeah, but Lionel, so you recovered like a great race actually in the end, considering lost his nutrition. He said he was happy with whatever he did. He just wanted to execute a good race, and then I guess he just kicked towards the end. So
true. I mean, it is nice to know, because I remember we were saying that the times went down really quick as he got off the bike, and then it just went back again.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, what the hell? Like, I didn't understand.
Yeah.
But what had happened is he was actually going that pace, feeling good, lost the nutrition, and
so he could have kept going. Probably. We don't know how the run went after that, but it's nice to see him like think about it while he's on. Like like, because sometimes you think of Lionel, he just goes like he used to just hammer it. But this time he was like, all right, that's happened. Let's dial it back a little bit and then see what I can do on the run, which is nice to see. I mean, it bodes well for him to run that well and run down so many people.
True.
That. And to move into maybe another video that we watched, which is the Gustav and Christian training video, where they were just running around a
track,
unedited, for like
making strange
20
comments.
Ks. But they said Lionel will be the one to beat in St. George.
Well, that's the thing I was going to bring up as well. It's like they've made there's a weird alliance now between the Norwegians and Lionel, which I would have never guessed. No. But it's weirdly like they're in a little team squad. It's quite fun. It'd be nice if Lionel could go and train with them for a bit.
That would be cool. I would really get around that.
Do you reckon they might? Imagine imagine Talbot,
his brother.
Imagine Talbot filming those two. Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah, because their videos are pretty.
They're basic.
Raw.
They're Norwegian. You know, no fluff. Just.
I mean, for us, that's great. I get all the way around that. But
how long was that video? Like 30 minutes, and even though they were saying no words and running around a track, I was like, God,
wow. Oh my God.
They're amazing. Look how big his chest is. Yeah. But I love Christian. I'm actually so in.
Really?
Were you watching the video? He was just like, and then gets back and just like crushes Gustav on the next set. Like he's just a really,
it's just like, yeah.
He's like a V8 engine, I feel like. Disgusting in a lot of ways, like sort of not very well refined, but just an absolute like powerhouse.
And speaking of that video, do we remember what that video was called? The Norwegian hype train or something.
Oh yeah.
In reference to, as we talked about before, we were ahead of this.
Yeah.
Joe Skipper writing the article on Don't Believe the Norwegian Hype.
And then
proceeds to come fourth in Ironman South Africa.
That's tough for him.
And so
He's
Gustav on his Strava titles his run the next day, Don't Believe the Norwegian Hype. And then they title their video The Norwegian Hype Train. And I'm so in. I'm sick for it. I want it bad. I love it.
Those guys, I think they get around the smack, like the smack talk. Like
weirdly. I thought they were just kind of like almost oblivious. Like I thought they wouldn't even notice it. But
I don't think you're the best in the world, like especially in Christian being the best Olympic distance guy in the world, that you don't have a bit of an edge to you. You know, you actually almost have to make up people to hate so you can, get angry when you're training. Like I think after a while, especially when you're at the top of your game, you need someone to kind of hate, someone to like train against almost. And especially when a lot of these guys are, they've got some pretty open social medias to yap on about some bullshit. Like,
and they do.
They do. And Joe Skipper, man, he got real silent after that one. I'll tell you, I haven't heard
nor hide nor hair of that guy.
Oh, I like that.
You like that one?
Where'd you get that from?
It's just a common saying.
Uncommon for people with my kind of brain.
Yeah, so, I mean, I can't... Oh, it's so good. It's all coming together. I'm like, it's just like the tension is building.
Yeah, except for Frodo. Mate.
Into that.
Oh, yeah. Well, so that goes into our next point, which is Jan pulls out of St. George. Yeah.
Ducking.
He's done this before. Like, I guess, I've got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He knows when he's in peak form, and I guess he's not in. But he hasn't raced for ages. Why is he not in
peak form? What's going on?
Sounds scared to me.
What are you doing? When is he going to race? That's the question, because...
I guess does he care about a world champs in St. George? Maybe that's the only thing.
But everyone's racing there. Wouldn't you want to go? And
I don't know what makes that guy tick. That's kind of part of his whole mystique, is you don't have any idea what he's up to.
Literally none.
Which is, he's an old head in a new sport.
True.
So he's the granddad, but I don't know. That seems like a duck to me, if you ask me.
I mean, yeah, unless there's an injury or something going on that he's not mentioning. Well, and he's just...
Yeah, well, the only ones that he's ducked in the past have been the 70.3s, which are understandable.
Yeah, because...
But this isn't Ironman World Champs.
Yeah. Or maybe he's just... I don't know. Maybe he's picking and choosing... I mean, you say maybe he's picking and choosing his race more carefully because he is getting older, but to pick and choose, you would pick and choose this one, would you not?
True. But the thing is, too, if you look at the course, doesn't suit him. I don't know.
Well, might be smart, but... we don't like him, so...
No, we don't like him.
I hate that guy. So you suck.
Yeah, you suck, man. Well, the thing about him, actually, is he's suited to Kona because of how long he is. So he can wick off that heat real easy. Like, weirdly, the longer boys seem to be. Which might be a nice transition into another long boy that you wanted to talk about, and I have no idea what you're going to say. Sam Long.
Yeah. We love talking about Sam Long, don't we? Even though...
He's polarizing. I feel like he's interesting.
I just wanted to talk about him because he's really annoying me at the moment.
You make that point like he's like a housemate or something.
You follow him on Instagram, don't you?
I do,
yeah. He's transitioned now into like... He used to be just like... I enjoyed him because like... He was annoying, but he was just like dumb and stupid. Like, not in like a mean way, but he was just like... He would just train and train.
He's oblivious and just...
Yeah, he was like smashing out huge weeks and everything. I was like, man, this guy is insane.
Yeah.
And now he's like becoming like... He's doing all these like motivational posts and like
turning into Tony Robbins.
Yeah, he's like turning into like... I don't know, maybe he's trying to be more serious about it, I guess, rather than... But like... I thought he would lean more into what he's good at, and he's becoming like, I don't know, it's just like cringe almost. I'm like cringing at some of his posts. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, right. Like why does he want to be more serious?
I don't know. Maybe he's got feedback and like.
Yeah, but the whole thing was that he was sort of a bit of a smack talker, and like throughout the whole Skipper Norwegian thing, I haven't heard a word from him, which is kind of unusual. That's kind of his
probably because
shtick.
he's ducking Ironmans as well. I mean, we don't blame him for that because there's more money and
True.
other races. But like, I don't know. I'm just not loving the vibes that he's given off at the moment. It's just like real.
Yeah, it could have gone two ways.
Serious vibes. Like, I mean, you can take your training seriously, obviously, but like, I mean, you should. But
well, I mean, that coincides quite nicely with him getting a girlfriend, isn't it? I wonder if that's
maybe
he's trying to impress her.
Well, he's doing. I follow him on Strava.
Yeah,
and I follow Gustav on Strava as well. Great follows, by the way. And he is doing absolutely massive weeks.
Really?
Like, hang on, let me find it, because he is just like compared to Gustav as well. So Sam Long. So this week he did. Sorry, let's go to last week because this week's not done. Last week, 570 Ks on the bike. 108 Ks on the run. And he swims. He doesn't track his swims because he doesn't wear a watch. And those are like consistent weeks. Like he's not just like up there once. He's like peaking. That is his peak, 580. But then he's at 415, 444, 317, and like peaking on the run as well.
Yeah.
So that guy's doing. I'm like kind of concerned.
How many hours is that? I wonder. I mean, that's got to be
on the
like
bike.
30.
Let me see.
Yeah, I mean that's like
8 hours, 8:40 on the bike.
Yeah.
4 hours on the run.
Oh, okay. It's not too bad.
I just think, and then I look at Gustav's and it's like
it's not even that much.
270k on the bike, 230k on the bike, 280k on the bike.
I guess like Gustav will go up hills more though, right? Like that.
I suppose, yeah. I'm just like, for a guy that's, I mean, he's training a lot for a guy that's doing 70.3s as well. Like, that's a lot of volume.
True.
I don't know.
You would think. Although I guess it's all building your aerobic base, isn't it? So,
I know. I just wanted to talk about him.
He's still doing the same. He's doing the same stuff, but he's sort of like losing his charm.
Yeah, he was like an enigma. Like he was just like this guy, yo, just like all over it and just
sort of happy dumb luck.
And now it's like
he's a pro.
Yeah, I don't want my athletes to be pros.
Come on, I want you to be like, I want you to have a bit of a, bit of something about you.
Yeah,
you don't go turn into Jan on us. I mean, he's got the same body as Jan.
True, maybe he will.
Ugh, no. Please, not another.
Well, you have to at least look good if you're going to turn into Jan.
Yeah.
So long.
Yeah, no, true. Although, that tri-suit, I've had another look. It's cool.
It's cool, but everything else.
I like that track. I mean, the pink. The pink's a bit grim.
You're a track guy. So.
I am a track guy. But, it is what it is. I think, in terms of like big boys, because, I mean, maybe that's a list we could do right this second.
Oh.
We're going to audible to it. Who are the most aesthetic big boys in triathlon? Because there's a few,
Yeah.
I feel like moving into this, I remember thinking to myself, I'm just too tall for triathlon. But
there's big boys.
There's some big boys.
I mean,
Jan's number one. Is he 6'4"?
Do you want to look it
He's
up?
really tall.
He's really tall. I'll look it up.
Like, that is really tall. But he only weighs like 70 kilos. That is so skinny.
I don't know how, like, he doesn't look like that though. Like, I feel like
he looks pretty muscly.
Exactly. Like, I weigh. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
How does this work?
I guess he just has no body fat on him. Hey.
194 centimeters. I don't know what that is.
I think that's about 6'3", 6'4".
Isn't that what you are?
That's pretty. I'm a bit shorter than that, but certainly heavier. I can tell you that. in the hospital, I stood on that scale. Oh man,
it's like shock.
She's like 87. It's amazing what not training will do.
At eating?
And eating.
Oh, you'd be a bit better.
I wasn't eating.
Yeah, no. So Jan is number one, of course, which I hate, but
Metzler's nice, firmly in number two.
Hey, Big Metz, baby.
What's happening with that guy? Yeah, we should do like a How's Big Metz corner, and I think things don't look great for old Big Metz yet again.
Yeah, if you don't care about Big Metz, then you should leave now. Like, Big Metz is...
Big Metz is our boy.
We admit he is not great.
Yet. Have hope. He will be good.
But I love that guy.
I just love his eyes. He's like, when he takes his glasses off and he's like...
His eyes are like so googly.
They're real googly, but like I'm just like... it's like wanting to pat like a panda or something. but a really tall, lean, skinny and aerobically based panda.
Yeah, I love his... He's a
good guy. Yeah.
He is a good guy.
Like, I feel like I'd actually want to be mates with him. Like, a lot of these guys, I like them from afar. But I'd imagine Lionel's a bit intense.
Oh, imagine hanging out with that guy all the time.
He'd be like, all right, mate.
Metz is just like, shout out Metz. Hey, Metz.
Friend of the show?
Yeah,
maybe?
everyone in the comments, tag Justin Metzler.
Yeah, please. That'd be fun.
Because collab.
Yeah, I feel like at some point if we can get to the same level of notoriety.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, man. With you listeners on board, we'll get there real quick.
Yeah, the train. Get a boil.
Yeah.
Get a board.
What?
Get a board.
Get aboard?
Get a board.
Yeah. This is why we're going to get people to get aboard, because we have such good chitty chat.
I've got a great chat. What do you mean?
Yeah. Haven't you been listening to this episode about basically nothing? Lol.
Number 2. Number 3?
Number 3. I guess it's Sam Long. I mean, is there any...
I think Rudy Von Berg's kind of tall.
He is kind of tall, and he looks tall when he runs. Like, he runs wide and tall. Yeah, he makes no sense that he's fast, actually. He like a lot of movement in the upper body as well as...
I was watching, going back to that race, I was really watching, because we were talking about Alistair Brownlee's running style and his injuries. Oh.
Yeah, he looks loose in the...
Oh, man, it doesn't look good. It's like, there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of moving parts.
It's kind of weird, though, because like the better the runner, the more they have the pronation of the ankle.
I know, but
like if you look at Kipchoge and things, but I guess they don't cycle and swim, so they got less injuries.
I feel like you can have heaps of pronation like that, but your body has to be able to cope with it. And some people's body, like my body, can't cope with it. I did that and I got injured.
True.
And so maybe it's just like you're not meant to do that sometimes. Your body doesn't do that.
Yeah, true. I wonder if like having extra pronation creates more like elastic recoil as you stand off. Like,
I think it does.
Yeah.
It makes sense, but
yeah,
it doesn't look good. Like it.
And welcome back to Biomechanics Corner on the Age Grouper podcast, where we talk about biomechanics. Even
I did units in biomechanics, you know. We both did.
What is it? What's the word mean? Break it down.
Well, bio is the body.
No. Biography is what it stands for. So it's biography, and then mechanics is like
mechanical.
Yeah, like making cars. So body and making cars. Jesus Christ. I like editing, but I probably will forget to edit that out.
Just leave it.
Do we want to take a quick break and then maneuver on to potentially the second bit? All right, we're back for the
most important part of the podcast.
So the start was all the important bits.
Yeah, we were just like warming up. It was just foreplay.
Foreplay for the real play.
Yeah.
And this is about to get
time
hot.
to get down and dirty.
So we're gonna name our top something. I don't know how many.
Yeah. This is gonna become a regular
like
thing.
Top 5. Let's go top 5. Blah.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a good name for it. Top 5 blah. Should we just name it that?
No.
Welcome back to the top 5 blah.
Top 5 dot.
Yeah, there you go.
Can we talk? Okay, so on this week of top 5 dot.
We're going to talk about the top 5 hottest bodies in triathlon. And we're going to leave it to just the men, obviously.
Yeah, because it might get a little weird, you know?
Well, and also men's bodies are more important to me for the most part.
Oh, men's bodies are much more good looking, you know?
I mean, we had a comment last time about inferring that we indeed are dating.
And we are, in fact, intimate. Mentally. And spiritually.
Yeah, as you can tell by...
And economically.
Economically, we are intimate.
But can we talk about general hot bodies in triathlon?
Yeah.
Like the topic of, does triathlon give you a hot body? Because you would think, you spoke to someone, you train for like 15 hours a week? Like you do exercise for 15 hours a week. You must look incredible. Like imagine if you went to the gym for 15 hours a week.
Yeah, true. And the answer is no. So if the question is, does triathlon get you a good body? The answer is a resounding no, I would say.
I would say yes. Yes.
But why? What's the mechanics of why it gives you a bad body? Because even running maybe gives you like a decent rig, but there's something about triathlon that makes a certain type of body. Even though there's swimming. That's the thing I don't think about. Because we've got swimming there, so surely swimming would get you nice big shoulders. But the problem is this, and you tell me if I'm wrong, is the swimming, so the running just doesn't use your upper body. So that's obvious why it would give you a bad body, right? But the swimming mixed with the cycling gives you this really weird looking upper body. So you get your lats, right? But then the problem is you have to tuck your shoulders up into the time trial position. So you end up having these big lats, but like these like empty clavicles, I'll call it, anatomically empty clavicles. So
so you can see all of this. Like there's a lot of...
Like right up in the shoulder region, they ain't a lot of tissue.
No.
And none of the boys have it. You don't get that hot neck.
It's like, well, you can see it right here. It's like...
And I mean, I'm like a perfect example.
And then you also get bad posture.
You do get bad posture.
I'm going to blame my bad posture on triathlon. We all know it was there before.
Ah, well, true. But I mean, I was getting better posture when I was going to the gym. I was like, I'm actually standing up straighter.
Retracting my spine a little, just working the muscles back there.
But the more I did the more
I curl over into this position.
And, it certainly doesn't help that the swimming is our least favourite for the most part. So we get in the pool at least, which is probably the only thing that's good for your posture. But yeah, no.
You get good legs. But
you get good legs. I don't get good legs.
You had pretty good legs.
Oh, they're right. But they're skinny. You get like little skinny legs.
No one cares about legs.
No.
Really?
That's the problem. Yeah. All right, fine. So we've distinguished that it gives you a bad body, but who are the who are the enigmas in triathlon?
Out of the bad bodies, who's the best? Who's got the best bad body?
Now that should be the segment name. Who's got the best bad body in triathlon?
The BBB.
The BBB. That's a category somewhere.
What's your BBB like?
Not good.
No.
Okay. All right. I think number one, I'm actually going to go for Lionel, I think. Even though he's not an Adonis, he's not really big, but, he actually utilizes the bad posture to make his pecs look better.
Yeah, we've gone over it.
Yeah, and to widen his back. So, like, in bodybuilding, you sort of have to, like, crunch your back over to get some wide lat action. And Lionel's got some pretty nice wide back.
Yeah, I think he actually doesn't really look like a triathlete, to be honest. Like, yeah.
The only thing that makes him look like a triathlete is that his actual arm is smaller than his forearm. Like, he's got some buff forearms, eh?
Yeah.
Like, you can see almost every single individual muscle.
How does he have buff forearms?
And maybe it's because all those years of him just slashing at the water so hard. He's talking about like, feeling for the water.
Yeah.
I think before he's like
just digging. He was like literally trying to grab it. Feel the water.
I will feel the water, eh? So yeah, I mean he's number one.
Yeah.
Maybe for me.
I can't even. He's got it. He looks good. Like anyone would look at him and be like, that guy looks. That guy's really.
Like he's got
good.
a good bikini body.
Yeah. Like in a speedo, you're like, wow, that guy looks good. Yeah.
True.
Number two.
You don't have number two? I mean, Jan's got some pretty buff body parts.
Yeah.
He's got wide hips though, Jan. So he wouldn't be a bodybuilder.
And he's got quite wide shoulders as well.
But the wide shoulders you can kind of get around, but yeah, he's got the...
but they're skinny. He's got the skinny wide shoulders.
He's silty.
Yeah, like it's like just bony, Which, I mean, some people get around that.
Oh, yeah. Like, if you liked bone, then sure.
Get a triathlete.
Get a triathlete. It's like, my God.
If you like feeling bone on bone.
Yeah. Actually, if you're a person who really likes to cuddle up to your partner, then don't get a triathlete as your boyfriend, I don't think, because you cuddle up and you're like, nice.
Your hip bone, you're freaking acromiums in your fucking...
Yeah, well, when I did jiu-jitsu that one time, everybody was complaining that my hip bones were like...
Yeah, your aces are like...
Yeah, they were cutting people's legs apart.
Yeah.
So that's probably why Felder wants to do triathlon. Lionel's mate.
Sure.
Felder. He wants to get those like...
Cutting hip bones.
Yeah. Yeah. Well...
you're probably right, Jan.
Because, I mean, it does drop off a fair bit, It starts to become like long and aesthetic.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, it's hard to be short and like because you just get skinny. Like you get skinny either way. So if you're short and skinny, it's like, well, that guy is just like anemic.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going home and saying, "Man, Landry has some beautiful pecs."
That's just a weird looking guy.
I just think that's actually a normal looking guy for triathlon. I think these other dudes are just
probably
hyper athletes who have big muscles. Somehow.
I think number 3 is probably. I would say Sam Long.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I think.
Just same as Jan.
Yeah.
Similar thing,
It's like just the longer you are, the better chance you have, I feel. The taller.
True. I mean, he's got a good back actually from that Instagram pic that he did with his significant other when he was picking her up.
You like
had
that?
A decent dunk. I mean, his butt looked pretty good. Not going to lie. But let's be honest. How long do you reckon he's holding her up for? He's probably going, triathlon will make me strong. And then drops her down, and then you see that cool picture. But we all know that that's as much weight that he's probably ever lifted in his entire life.
Oh, yeah.
And
I mean, he probably does some squats and stuff, but upper body-wise?
It does say a lot about the sport that his nickname is the big unit, when he's probably skinnier than basically any other sport.
Who gave him that nickname? Did he give himself that nickname?
He definitely gave himself that nickname. That's tough.
He also gives himself the nickname of strongest legs in triathlon.
He probably does, but they're just so little looking. Yeah, that's where I say the legs aren't that good, because they're just... But again...
Weirdly, I have cyclist legs, which is...
Yeah, you got like... You're a sprinter.
Yeah.
Triathlete
legs really don't end up...
No, they end up a bit green.
True.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. We've fallen off a cliff. This segment idea sounded like a good idea. And we realised that actually...
Should we go like worst bodies in triathlon? So, best bad body. Should we go WBB?
WBB. I'm going to say the worst body...
Yeah?
No, you go.
On. No. I want to see if you say the same one.
I'm unconvinced now.
The worst one is Christian Blumenfeld. That guy looks so weird.
We forgot about Gustav. Gustav's got a pretty good body, doesn't he? He's got a bit of a chest on him. They've both got big chests, those Norwegians.
I think Christian Blumenfeld's the worst just because he looks so strange.
He is a strange looking guy, isn't he? He sort of looks like a parrotfish.
Yeah, you're right. Wow, great comp.
Thank you.
He's just so thick in the... It's just...
I mean, we've said it a few times. He's got a lot of room for breath. Like, his lungs just must be enormous. You know what I mean?
No wonder he's so good. I don't think Gustav has a...
You're not a fan?
It's just Norwegian.
Didn't you see that picture of him lying in bed? I was like, oh,
yeah, I mean, it made me feel things, but not because his body was good.
Yeah, it's
I was
the
looking
personality.
at other things.
Yeah, you like personality. You know?
Yeah, of course. I like his off with the fairies personality.
Yeah, true. He leaves you wanting more. He never gives you... He's a guy who says one word,
everything.
never two.
Yeah.
You know?
Never says a sentence when one word will suffice.
I'm pretty sure that's not the right...
But I just made it.
You, in fact, are the opposite, since you said a longer phrase than the actual phrase is.
Thank you.
But no, Christian he's got a pretty strange rig. But, I mean, I just kind of like him because he's just so different. Like, he's a big boy.
Yeah, I just don't like the way he looks. That was really mean.
That was really mean. But he doesn't care because he doesn't want you on the Norwegian hype train. But I'm on the Norwegian hype train.
Mate, I'm on it too. What do you mean?
Nah, mate, you're off. Sorry, you're gone. Can't be talking poo-poo about my boy.
I'm driving this train.
Yeah, true. Yeah. But I mean, if he's got that, like, what was it called again? Pectus carinatum, I believe it's called. If he got a bit of pec, he'd be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, I reckon. Like, he would have a good, they're already out there. He just gets like a centimetre extra. It's like, oh my God.
Oh my God. That
thing's enormous.
Yeah. I think just Christian, and the problem with those Norwegian boys is much the same problem we have, is they are very white.
And you don't get that
You don't
definition.
look good when you're white.
Have you ever been tanned? Have you ever had like a moment of being tanned?
My legs are tanned and my arms are tanned.
No, but I mean like...
My body?
Yeah, like your body.
No. It's been less white.
I think I've had it tanned one time when we went to Europe.
Oh.
And I was like fat back then. And I got tanned and I was like...
You still looked better.
And then I was like, me gusta. Look at that.
So fat and tan still looks better than...
White and ripped. It's not fair. I mean, I feel like...
Whoa. You should beat that bit out.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah. So, I guess that should probably be wrapping this up. I mean, is there anything else you want to say?
No. I'm excited. Soon coming a little St. George, maybe an outline, and then we'll do another one closer to the race to really dig deep a bit. But, yeah, that's probably the next thing on the docket. We're kind of just
talking smack.
What do you call it? We're kind of just...
Filling in the time.
We're kind of just kicking rocks.
Kicking rocks. I think that, yeah.
You know?
Yep, kicking them forward.
And that's really all triathlon is anyway. So, you know,
just kicking
it's
rocks.
just like time in between races, isn't it? Where you're just kind of doing the same thing every day.
That's true. Doesn't even matter what we say, to be honest.
Life is triathlon.
Well, I hope you were listening to this while you're doing a workout, because you don't actually have to listen to the crap we were talking about. And if you've gotten this late into the podcast, then thank you, because, I mean, what the hell were we on about?
I don't know.
No! no, the screen's off. Well, mate, there it is. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wet as always.
Wet as always.
Get aboard the train.
Choo-choo. Choo-choo-choo-choo, Norwegian train. But also the age group of podcast train.
Yeah,
We're all
it's two
getting
trains
on
simultaneously running together.
it. Yeah, one's a steam train and one's like an electric train. One's a little faster, but one's a lot harder.
I don't know which one is which.
We're the steam train.